Aha! I found out why my PC was so loud. Now I can actually record the video. So I had a little bit of a issue with GameStop here. Hold on, give me 1 second. There we go. Had a little bit of an issue with GameStop here to do with Modern Warfare and just overall, it doesn't make any sense. So in case you guys don't know, here recently you were able to preload Modern Warfare. Preload being that you are able to basically download the game and then wait till it unlocks the day of release, etc., stuff like that. Here's the thing. I tried to explain this to GameStop. GameStop, I went and pre-ordered the game and put money down the game. Now, why did I do it through GameStop instead of other services? Well, the reason being why is because I had to slowly pay it off over time. So, there was that. But I proceeded to try to explain to GameStop that, hey, you know, I sat here and preload started on the PC version of the game. You know, can I get my code? It's not like I'll be able to play the game. I explained and even showed proof that online retailers as well as local retailers were already starting to send out the digital codes so people could preload it on battle.net. Well, upon me telling GameStop this, they told me the street date is the 24th and they can't give me the game. It went back and forth. The district manager was talked to, a whole bunch of stuff like that, regional manager, district manager, and stuff like that, and they came to the conclusion that no, it's blocked via street date. So I was like, okay, well, so what you're telling me is that I can go pre-order at Green Man Gaming or on Battle.net and preload the game today. Now, the biggest issue as to why this was an issue was I work all day on the 24th. I work all day on the 24th, which is when they're giving out their games at GameStop on the 24th at 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. The issue is the time that I get off at work is the time when GameStop is closed. So that means, number one, I would have no way to get it. Number two, I'd have no way to preload the game unless I got home like at 12 o'clock. If I managed to get the game at all, I would have no way to preload it unless I was to get off work. I would normally get home around 11:30 or 12 o'clock, and then I'd have to preload it into essentially the launch of Modern Warfare. So there was that. Okay, you understand where I'm coming from here? So I tried to explain that to GameStop. They didn't want to give me the game. They basically said, oh, it's on street date. We can't sell it. It's illegal to do that yet. We can't. I said, you're not selling it. You're not giving me an actual copy of the game, which I can go home and play. This game, there's completely two different things, okay? They're like, well, we haven't received, there's been no word from Activision. Well, obviously, there was clearly some word from Activision due to the reason being that Green Man Gaming, as well as other website retailers, have released keys to the people, including GameStop themselves, from digitally download codes via email. The version that I got, they said I'd have to come in and get in store. So that's perfectly fine. I was okay with that. But I explained to them what was going on, showed them proof, showed them etc. And they just go, well, we can't give it to you. So upon further inspection, basically, I found out that, hey, you know what? I can just go cancel, get my money back, and get it on battle.net and preload it today. Well, I went picked up a friend, and on my way over to GameStop, he was like, why don't you just buy basically Blizzard cards? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, think about it. You got $65 pre-ordered into the game, right? I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, well, then just take that, get a $50 Blizzard card, get a $20 Blizzard card, and then pay the $4 difference, and then you'll have like a little bit extra money over, and then you can go ahead and pre-order it on Blizzard.net and pre-download the game today and preload the game. And I said, that's a good idea. Let me go ahead and try to do that. So all in all, the issue was fixed from me actually doing what was supposed to be done in the first place. Let me give an example here, okay? If they would have given me the code for the game like they were supposed to, even though they stated we can't do that until the 24th, even though Activision told other people that they can do that. Every other retailer has sent out codes to people that are able to do that, number one. And number two, being that there's got to be a way to preload the game. And even people around here have sat here and fucking gone in and got an Xbox version and preloaded their fucking, pre-order bonuses and the game itself. But I don't understand why you can't give me my code for the game. Keep in mind, that is GameStop, by the way. There is a GameStop, have been GameStops in the area, that are letting people who have it digitally on Xbox go and get it and redeem it. You see what I'm getting at here? But no, they apparently can't do that for me. So all in all, the issue was fixed, but it was just more of a fucking headache than it was worth. And GameStop wanted to argue with me every step of the way. I said, look, is there a way we can switch this to digital email so you could just email it? No, we can't do that. You'd have to cancel the pre-order. Okay, well, is there a way that I can sit here and, basically pretty much just get the code and redeem it to preload it. Well, no, we're not allowed to do that. I said, so what you're saying is anybody who essentially pre-orders with you guys or gets it through GameStop is not allowed to preload, is what you're saying. And that's the complete bullshit truth of it. If you get it through fucking GameStop, and it seems to be only fucking GameStop, you cannot preload your damn game. They give it to you a day before release because it technically comes out on the 25th. You do not have the next couple days to preload up until the launch. Case in point being, you were able to preload on PC either starting today or yesterday. And for a lot of people, it being 130 gigabytes of a download is a lot of time to download for a lot of people who play Call of Duty. But for me, it's not that bad, but for a lot of people, it can be. And that's the issue that comes into play here is like, people don't just have that time to fucking throw away to sit here and preload the game right when the launch happens and still be preloading and downloading the game when the launch still fucking happens. They don't want to have to do that. That's why people do digitally and stuff like that. And that's overall the issue that comes into play. Now, I can understand if your own chain, your own retail stops it and says it's street blocked and doesn't allow any sales of it. But keep in mind, there were other GameStops in the area that were letting people come in and get their digital versions of the game preloaded because preload was available. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.